Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I led you to believe it was easy when it wasn't. Maybe I made you think my highlights started at the free throw line and not in the gym. Maybe I made you think that every shot I took was a game winner. That my game was built on flash and not fire. Maybe it's my fault that you didn't see that failure gave me strength, that my pain was my motivation. Maybe I led you to believe that basketball was a God-given gift and not something I worked for every single day of my life. Maybe I destroyed the game. Or maybe you're just making excuses.
Was fear of failure a motivator?
I never feared about my skills, because I put in the work. So when the game comes, it's nothing that I haven't already practiced. It's a routine. Whatever happens in the game now, okay, I've done this before. Work ethic eliminates fear. So if you put forth the work, then what are you fearing? You know what you're capable of doing, what you're not.
You come out of college, you got a lot of gifted talent and some knowledge from your coach, and when you get to the pros, you have to blend that knowledge as well as your individual talent. And you don't know where you stand. I came into the league thinking I was the last on the totem pole. That was my thinking. I didn't come in thinking I was on top. So I had to work my way past all my teammates, and they're all guys within the league, to prove and establish myself as a basketball player. So, I was gifted, I was talented, I knew how to play the game. I didn't know how to play the game on the professional level. I had to learn that. And it took some years of learning, watching Magic Johnson, watching Larry Bird, see how they can play, impact games when they're not scoring. Or, they score 4 points, they still make the big plays down the stretch. These are things that you learn in the process of maturing in this league, and as I watched, I began to adapt, and I became more complete. I wasn't one-dimensional. The one thing I never wanted to be was one-dimensional. Everyone saw me as just a scorer, one-on-one player, but I knew I was better than that. I came from a great program at North Carolina, teach you how to do more than just one thing. So I spent the rest of my career trying to evolve as a player, and when our team got to a point where we can contend, I had to assume a leadership role. Other guys had to step forward, and then when we got to that point where we were winning, all the bases and all the foundation has been built. Now it's just about can you mentally get yourself back each time to challenge yourself more so than the opponent, but yourself, to be that hungry each and every time you stepped on the court. That took some evolving over the course of my career. And when I got to that point, I had no doubts that I couldn't win anytime I stepped on the court, or that I couldn't inspire people to win no matter how many times I stepped on the court.
This is all I've been working up for, is an opportunity to play against what everybody considered to be the best. It was Magic Johnson, his team, the mighty, mighty Lakers at the time, were one of the powerhouses in the 80s. And now we're starting the 90s. So if you're gonna make a statement, you make a statement against the best.
You've had a lot of fantastic moments in sports. What's the greatest moment?
I mean, what started everything, you should
Don't say that. Don't say the shot against Jordan.
Yeah, that was the greatest moment, because I think that took me from if I had any doubts about playing on college level or playing with the big guys, that shot gave me the confidence that I belonged where I was, and that it was, if you put your mind to doing whatever you want to do, good things can happen, so before anything else happened with Michael Jordan outside of that game and against you guys, that shot gave me the idea that I could be better than what people think, and I can, surpass any expectations that I may have for myself.
Let me turn it. What's your greatest disappointment in sports?
I haven't had any disappointments. I mean, sports is a tool that teaches, and it teaches you bad things. It can also teach you good things. It's how you perceive those things. I've looked at every experience that I've had, negative and positive, and taken that as a positive. If I wouldn't change anything, because I think it would alter some of the other things that happened. So when I look back, I can't say that I've had any bad things happen. Sure, I mean, you don't want bad things to happen, but you deal with bad things. You can't have good or without bad. Be true to the game, because the game will be true to you. If you try to shortcut the game, then the game's going to shortcut you. If you put forth the effort, good things will be bestowed upon you. You know, that's truly about the game. And in some ways, that's about life too.
I practice as if I'm playing a game. So when the moment comes in the game, it's not new to me. That's the beauty of the game of basketball. That's the reason why you practice. That's the effort. So when you get to that moment, you don't have to think. Instinctively, things happen.
When you finally won the championship, the emotional images of you cradling the trophy while sitting with your dad were just an unforgettable image. Can you describe or talk about what you were feeling at that particular time?
Yeah, it's hard to describe, even though, you know, you have so much time, like 20-some years to reflect on it. And the thing is that it was like everything that I worked for has got me to this point. My father understood that. He's seen the pain, he's seen the levels of effort that we put into this. And now we're at the top. We're at the top in the NBA. And now everybody says, wow, they were lucky. You know, they were lucky the first time. Now do it again. Maybe they wasn't lucky. Do it again. But this team is not bad, you know. And the mentality of your leader, starting with Phil, getting to me, getting to Scotty, and then to the rest of the team was, okay, let's find a way to stay up top. That means we got to go this extra mile. You know, we got to go a little harder. You know, we got to go a little longer. Initially, it was saying, okay, we're on top. We can laugh, we can joke, but we're going to work hard. We're going to still do everything we want. And we're going to still win.
The stats never drove me. You know what I mean? The stats only add up when you put forth the effort and you don't worry about it. You know, good things happen to those people that work hard. If I sit here and play for the stats, I would have never retired in '93. Or I still probably be chasing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar all-time scoring lead. I mean, that doesn't drive me. I mean, sure, I mean, it defines to some extent for people who don't know me or, you know, 20 years from now would never know who Michael Jordan really is. But based on the stats, he must have been pretty decent. You know, those are only ways that I look at stats. Other than that, you know, it's all about winning championships and winning. You know, the stats that matter to me is the games that we win and the rings that you collect. What motivates me is the unknown. No one knows. You know, they can all speculate, but no one really knows. And, you know, when you look at my career from, you know, high school all the way up through, you know, to the pros, no one knew what Michael Jordan was capable of. You know, and myself, I didn't know, you know, but that I didn't let that stop me, you know, and I let that motivate me more so than anything. That, you know, as long as it's unknown, that means I have a chance, you know, and that's the way I pursued my whole career. I just feel that, you know, my competitive drive is far greater than anyone else that I've met. You know, I think that I thrive on that. I think that's my biggest motivation in life, you know, is to compete. You know, find different competitions in certain things in life and try to overcome that, you know, be it positive or negative. But I have yet to meet someone who is as competitive as me, you know, and I just feel that much confident about my competitive drive.
The greatest thing about the game of basketball to me is the passion, the love that I have for it. Because when you have love for anything, you'll go to the extreme to maintain that love. That's what love does. It love drives you to do everything you need to maintain that connection. If I didn't have the love for the game of basketball, all the things that I just panned out to you in my career would have never been achievable. But it was truly my love for the game that kept me pushing to be the best basketball player that I can be. To be the best at anything, you gotta have a certain love for that to make you overcome all the obstacles that's gonna be thrown in your way. That's what the game of basketball has been for me.